There's a new interview with Meghan Markle, and Emily Chang did it. Now you can find this on the Bloomberg Originals channel. Now Emily usually focuses on culture, tech, entertainment, and business, so this is right in her wheelhouse. It's entertainment because it's Meghan, and it's business because they're talking about Meghan's business. They also talk about some life things when they go out and have lunch, but from a body language and behavior perspective, there are a couple of things in here that kind of bother me. Looks a little bit iffy as far as deception goes. So let's take a look and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
So, I mean, obviously this is a quieter town. Can you actually get a drink in peace?
Yes.
Where have you heard that high-pitched yes before?
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
And to me, that sounded deceptive.
Yeah. We go out a lot. I love it. I go out with my girlfriends for dinner and lunches, and obviously my husband and I have a lot of date nights because it's important. But yeah, we go out a lot in our community, in Montecito and in Santa Barbara, and people are just really friendly.
When someone's talking and their pitch, volume, and voice tone are all pretty much flat, and you ask them a question and the answer is yes, and that yes is really high and really loud.
Yes. 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 Yes.
From a body language perspective, that lets us know something might be up there because that indicates sudden stress.
Yeah. We go out a lot. I love it. I go out with my girlfriends for dinner and lunches, and obviously my husband and I have a lot of date nights because it's important.
Because it's important. Watch how fast that smile goes away.
It's because it's important. It's because it's important. It's because it's important.
That lets us know that's not a real smile. Because when you really smile, it comes on slow and it goes away slow. It doesn't turn off like that.
It's because it's important.
Let's focus on our illustrators just for a second. Illustrators are the way your brain emphasizes specific words and phrases, like I did just then, specific words and phrases. She just starts illustrating out of nowhere. And she starts goofing around with her neck and that chain. Why is that? That's called adapting. She's trying to get rid of some of that built up stress and tension. These are all red flags for deception.
Are there any tricks to being incognito?
No, we're not trying to be incognito.
Okay.
Different chapter.
No, and this is a different chapter. That's important.
No, we're not trying to be incognito.
Okay.
Different chapter.
Now listen to this.
If you had total anonymity for a month, what would you do?
I would go grocery shopping every day. I miss grocery shopping so much.
She asks her if she had total anonymity for 30 days, what would she do? She said she'd go to the grocery store every day. So is she not being honest about not worrying about being recognized? Apparently, that's not true. I think she's being deceptive here as well.
If you had total anonymity for a month, what would you do?
I would go grocery shopping every day. I miss grocery shopping so much.
Why would she find it such a relief to be able to go to the grocery store because she can't go now when nobody's recognizing her or she doesn't care? Right out of the gate, we're seeing a lot of things that tell us we're dealing with deception.
I miss grocery shopping so much.
Now, when she's doing her hands like this, those are called regulators. Illustrators are how you say, here's what I'm going to do. And regulators are the way you control the conversation or a situation. You say, hang on just a minute, listen to me, hang on. Or you come over here, you guys go over this way, come on, or slow it down a little bit. Those are regulators.
Think of the direction our country is going in.
I think right now it's a really interesting time for the entire world. I just hope that people are able to maintain the values that they feel are important to them and to feel safe and to remember our humanity with each other in all of it. Like however polarized the world can be or feel, if you go back to the fact that we're human beings and try to find the way that we can connect versus feel divided, I think that's the only way through whatever can feel trying.
That answer is full of what are called platitudes.
I just hope that people are able to maintain the values that they feel are important to them and to feel safe and to remember our humanity with each other.
Alexa, what are platitudes?
Platitudes is a form of the noun platitude, which is usually defined as a flat, dull, or trite remark, especially one uttered as if it were fresh or profound.
In all of it, like however polarized the world can be or feel, if you go back to the fact that we're human beings and try to find the way that we can connect versus feel divided, I think that's the only way through whatever can feel trying.
I want you to pay attention to how she pulls her hair behind her ear and when she does that. What else is happening with that? We see a lot of illustrators. This is going to be important in a minute.
Things you're dying to say or do right now that you feel like you can't.
No, I just make a choice of what matters to me and what's important to me.
The reason you feel weird when you hear that answer is because it doesn't mean anything, and it's not the answer to the question she asked. Again, those are platitudes.
No, I just make a choice of what matters to me and what's important to me.
A flat, dull, or trite remark, especially one uttered as if it were fresh or profound.
What's your vibe on launch day? Are you zen or are you like gritting your teeth?
Oh, no. Very zen.
Yeah.
Because it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. So I think I sort of approach that.
What's your vibe on launch day? Are you zen or are you gritting your teeth? Now let's take a look at that expression she makes just as that question is being asked.
What's your vibe on launch day? Are you zen or are you like gritting your teeth?
Doesn't look too zen, does it?
Oh, no. Very zen.
Yeah.
Because it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. So I think I sort of approach that.
And after the second it's done, look what happens with her chin.
Yeah.
Because it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.
That's stress. That's an adapter. That doesn't look zen either. That's literally what you do when you grit your teeth.
It's done.
Just had another launch.
Yes.
The rosé sold out also in less than an hour.
44 minutes. I was shocked.
How do you keep up with demand?
When you sell out that quickly, it's a double-edged sword because it's an incredible thing to happen for any small business and any startup. And at the same time, you don't get the same metrics and learnings about which SKUs and products are the most coveted because it's all gone immediately.
The question was, how do you keep up with demand? This is not the answer to that question. She's telling a little story.
When you sell out that quickly, it's a double-edged sword because it's an incredible thing to happen for any small business and any startup. And at the same time, you don't get the same metrics and learnings about which SKUs and products are the most coveted because it's all gone immediately.
A whole lot of snapping of the fingers and things being gone immediately and that kind of thing.
The most coveted because it's all gone immediately.
From 2011 to 2017, I was the entrepreneur in residence at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center, and I helped startups and new CEOs get funding for their companies. I taught them how to pitch, how to get their body language happening so they could be trusted when they're pitching and asking for money. So before I helped them, I'd have to look at their business and make sure everything they said was going to happen was going to happen. I had to make sure everything they were saying was true. And when I heard stuff like this, I wasn't into it. I said, nope, can't help you, because I knew they didn't know what they were talking about.
And at the same time, you don't get the same metrics and learnings about which SKUs and products are.
She knows the categories and the topics to talk about when it comes to this question, but she's not answering it. She's not getting into the details that this woman wants to know. And believe me, Emily is asking the right questions, and she knows what the answers should be. Hey everybody, just a quick intro. I want you to meet Jessica, our sponsorship specialist. Hi Jessica.
Hey Scott.
Hey, thanks for letting me do this because I want to use it as an example. So check this out. I just Googled your full name. Now your address is in Los Angeles, correct?
Yes, that's creepy.
And your phone number is 214 or 8.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's the creepy part. Your personal address, phone number, and email are all out there for anybody to find. All I did was just Google and search you. And it's not a hack. It's data brokers, companies that collect and sell your information to marketers, scammers, and even identity thieves. And it's totally legal and completely creepy. They're supposed to remove your information if you ask them to, then they bury it in all that legalese and red tape, so you'll just give up. But you can do what we do. You can use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura scans the web for data brokers that are sharing your information and automatically sends opt-out requests on your behalf. But Aura doesn't stop there. It monitors the dark web 24/7 and it alerts you fast if any of your information shows up. Now, it'll warn you if somebody tries to open a bank account or credit line in your name. And if something goes wrong, you're covered with up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, and a US-based fraud team is ready to step in. Plus, Aura includes a world-class VPN so you can browse and shop safely from anywhere. It's privacy protection and peace of mind all in one. So go to aura.com/Scott Rouse and get 14 days for free. And that's enough time for Aura to start scrubbing your information from the internet. All right, thanks, Jessica.
Thank you, Scott.
And at the same time, you don't get the same metrics and learnings about which SKUs and products are.
She knows that already. That's why she asked that question. But she doesn't get the answer to that question. This is a form of being deceptive. It's called.
And we prepped for the second seasonal drop, and 10x'd our inventory.
When she says they 10x their inventory, that means they got 10 times as much.
And thought for sure that would at least last for a couple weeks. That sold out in a couple hours. And suddenly the conversation goes from at the start of this year talking about a few thousand jars and lids to we need to do a purchase order of 1 million. And that's a huge jump in just a few months of starting a business.
And the plan is to go global.
Yes, absolutely.
She still hasn't answered that question. I don't think she can. I don't think she knows how. I don't think she knows what she's talking about.
How long does it take to develop each product? What's that process like?
This is a valid and important question because you want to know how they make the product. How long does it take? What goes into doing this? How much does it cost to do this? What are we dealing with here when it comes to making your product? That's what she's asking her.
Oh, goodness. I'm exasperated in some ways by that only because it is such a tedious proposition to scale your own home recipe to something at mass and maintain the same, not just quality, but the same flavor that you're able to do at home. And I think any home cook would say that. If you say, great, can you make...
Here come those illustrators. When she's getting ready to... Part of her protocol is to start illustrating a lot.
Your cobbler that I love. I said, great, of course I can make my cobbler. Great, can you make 1 million cobblers? Can you teach someone how to make 1 million cobblers that taste just like the one that you have at home?
That's not the way it happens. Nobody asks that because there's a process for that to happen, and it's not that.
I also have to be conscious of, people who really understand canning can say the bricks method when you're going at scale. I mean, now I'm going to get a little nerdy and jammy with you.
She gets lost there. She's not going nerdy on her. She gets lost. She doesn't know where to go from there. She's heard this talked about, and I'm sure someone said it to her because in the meetings, if she's supposed to be the CEO, those things are talked about. And she's heard somebody talking about that. Again, they've probably told her, and she's trying to repeat it and can't remember what to say. How do we know that? Look at those illustrators. They're huge. Now, this doesn't happen with everybody who's not being honest. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. When someone is using illustrators and they're speaking and talking, and then all of a sudden those illustrators stop, they go away. Albert Bray did studies that show that person is probably being deceptive. But not here. It's just the opposite. When Meghan starts to that's when she starts illustrating a lot. And then she starts goofing with her hair.
I mean, now I'm going to get a little nerdy and jammy with you.
I can tell the details.
But there's a lot of detail in it. There's lots of tiny nuances that I don't think people would think about and then make sure that it can come out the way that feels reflective of what I make at home.
Now, keep in mind, she didn't answer the question that Emily asked her. Now, is this deceptive? In a way it is. And I have to say in a way because when you look at this, she is answering the question and she's saying what she knows the answer to be, but it's not the right answer. She knows it's not the right answer. But again, Emily isn't going to invest in her. She's just asking her questions. But she should be able to answer them and she should be able to say and feel good about saying, I don't know, hang on a minute, let's find out. Something like that.
What about pricing? Like, how did you determine your pricing strategy? Like, what are the margins?
Yes.
Okay, this is one of the biggies. How do you determine how much you're going to sell this thing for? What are the margins on this? How do you determine what the pricing is going to be?
The pricing, I think, is key. From my standpoint, I know where I came from. I remember being in high school and having my after-school job.
Here come those illustrators.
And all I wanted to do was save up to buy a shirt that said BB.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
that
I
just
had a lot
said
of
BB. And if you could get the one with the rhinestone BB, you stone BB, you stone BB, you stone BB, you really made it. And I always think about...
Now notice what's happening here. She's taking her off the trail. This is called chaff and redirect. She's taking her off the trail of her question. She's not answering the question. This is really important. Cons do this. I'm not saying Meghan's a con. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm showing you what cons do. They do exactly what she's doing. Doesn't mean she's a con. I think what's happening here is she's the CEO, but she's saying she's the CEO, and everybody knows she's not, and she knows she's not, but she's the figurehead for this company. And that's what makes it sell, because it's Meghan, and it's about Meghan, and it's Meghan's. It's all about Meghan. That sounds crazy. But I believe that's what's happening. There's no way she could be the CEO of this for real, because she doesn't know anything about what's happening from a business perspective.
That version of me, who there might be a brand or a person that you look up to and you want to have a piece of what they're sharing in the world. And that can't be something that is out of price range. That can't be something that is so aspirational, you're never going to be able to afford it. So there is something I think really important in that the first hero product was this $9 jar of jam, which my 15-year-old self would have been able to buy. And then after you finish the jam, you could use that to put your flowers in it, little jar, or your pens on your desk.
So keep in mind, she didn't cover how she came to the pricing on this. She didn't answer that question. Is it deceptive? I think it is. Again, she's not the CEO, I don't think. And that's why I'm going to give her a pass on this. She's just the figurehead.
So what is the path to profitability?
This is the big one. What's the path to profitability? How's this thing going to make money? This is where if she was a CEO, she'd light up and go, here's how we're going to do it, man. Check this out, and be excited about it. She's the one that fires up everybody else. If she's the CEO, watch what happens.
The scaling is going to be key, and certainly shifting out of D2C, not necessarily into brick and mortar of our own.
Of course, scaling is important. That's how you grow. That's what they're talking about in a nutshell. And D2C is direct to customer. And when she's talking about brick and mortar, that's actually building stores to put that stuff in.
But in finding the right retail partners that make sense to be on the shelves.
Do you want to see it at Target or Williams-Sonoma or?
I think a key retail partner is going to be very valuable. And also, look, if you look at the categories.
She's covering the main things you want to talk about when you're talking about the path to profitability, but she's not talking about the details.
It might not just be one. We might have exclusivity in certain ones that make sense for the consumables, but as you expand into candles or things throughout the home, where do those live that it makes sense?
The same thing's going on here. She's talking about the key elements of what happens on the path to profitability, but she's not talking about the details. She's not answering the question. So what have we learned from a body language and behavior perspective? Things can look and sound like they belong there and like it works and like it's real, but it's not. Deception isn't always the bald-faced lie you're looking for. Sometimes it's the thin deception, like we're seeing here. It's a layer of deception over something you're not familiar with if you're not into being an entrepreneur or understanding startups and how that works. And you're just getting into it and you want to invest in somebody and you want to think, wow, we can make a whole lot of money because this person has a great idea. This is how it's done. Somebody talks like this and sounds like this, like they know everything, but they can't go deep into what they're talking about. So it is deception. But like I said before, in this situation, I can't call her a con. She's not a con. She's just playing the part of the CEO. All right, if you have any questions about body language, just email me. bodylanguagequestions@gmail.com, and I'll get right on it.